Hello everybody, Mr. Politics here, and welcome to another video. How do I start this video off? About two-tier Keir Starmer, who gave us another ranting talk this morning. Where do I start about him? What can we say about this arsehole of a Prime Minister we've got? What words can we describe him? There are no words here that describe this arsehole, this quisling, this turncoat, this traitor, because that's what he is, a traitor. And of course this morning, in his speech this morning, he had to go ahead, as usual, blame the far right. The non-existence, the far right that do not exist. He keeps on about them existing, but they don't. It's all in his mind. It's all in his thick head of his. I mean, like I've said at the beginning of the video, what words can people describe him? I think we're running out of things to say about him. We're calling him all of the names under the sun: two-tier Keir, never hear Keir, two-gear Keir, two glasses Keir, and never hear Keir. We can't find the words, can we, to describe him? Well, let me try. Since he become Prime Minister, things have gone totally out of hand. I mean, of course, the Southport killer trial started yesterday. I don't know how long that's going to be on for, but it should run for a while. Let's hope it does. And he apparently pleaded guilty. But of course, Starmer and his useless Home Secretary, of course, have got to cover this up, the Southport killings. It's a one big cover-up. Starmer and his Yvette Cooper should be in jail. Both of them should be in jail, and not only that, but the corrupt police, whoever's in charge of the Southport police force should be in jail as well, along with them. Because what we have here is a perfect example of not telling the people the truth. When people started to report this, what happened, they said it was an act of terrorism. But of course, Starmer didn't want it to be called that. He wanted it to be kept quiet. And of course, as a result, we had the summer riots. Now, if the truth was told right away, there probably wouldn't have been these riots. The trouble wouldn't have spread out into the summer. Wouldn't have gone on. But of course, Starmer, being the tyrant he is and the dictator he is, he's got to spread disinformation. Now, this is he's a laugh, isn't he? Starmer's a laugh a minute. He accuses other people of spreading disinformation, but he spreads it himself. He spreads disinformation all the time about labouring people far right, when he's got no evidence that the people are far right. And as soon as people started mentioning Islamist terrorism, started talking about it, he shut them down. He had them arrested. He had them arrested and put in jail for just speaking their mind, for telling the truth. And of course, that's one thing Starmer does not like. He doesn't like the truth, and he can't stand free speech. How he would love to completely outlaw and ban free speech. He'd love that. He'd love it that this country would not have free speech. Other countries have free speech, but it looks like our free right to free speech has been taken away from us here in the UK. And I don't know what the American people think of us when anybody goes to visit America, to tour America, and they ask, what is wrong with your country? And they have to say, well, our free speech is being taken away. That's what the American people are saying to any British tourists who go to America. They immediately ask them, what's going on? Why is Starmer like this? Why does he hate his country, you ask? Well, he's trying to turn us into a Orwellian country where, like I've just said, free speech is no more. You can't say anything. If you say one word, you will be arrested. But in America, they have something called the Constitution, which, if I can say it right, the First Amendment in the Constitution says that the American people have the right to free speech. Now, isn't it I wish we had something like that in this country, some kind of constitution to say what we want, but we can't. If we say anything out of turn, we're immediately branded far right. Or if people post something on X or Facebook that the authorities don't like, or particular Starmer he doesn't like, he picks up the phone and immediately tells the police to arrest whoever's posting on media, on social media. He orders them to. I mean, he says that we cannot talk about the case, but when he was head of the Crown Prosecution Service, surely the file of Jimmy Savile must have crossed his desk. And of course he didn't take any action against him, didn't prosecute him. Now, I think that Starmer probably did see Savile's file and he didn't do anything about it, because if he did, it would embarrass Starmer and the establishment friends. His establishment friends wouldn't like it. But this is what happens when people who voted for Starmer, for Labour, at the last election, this is your fault. You've done all this. You've caused all this to happen by voting for him. You shouldn't have voted for him. Even those who voted for Labour at the last year's election, you're losing your right to free speech. Anybody who is a lefty, your time will come when you will lose your right to free speech, and let's see how you like it when you're told what you've got to say and can't say. Well, anyway, that's the end of this video. Mr. Politics here signing off, and remember, don't believe the lies.